friends, it is Sherry, the Director of Children's Ministry here with another story from the Spark Story Bible. Our story today talks about a very special meal and Jesus washing the disciples' feet. Now, why would Jesus wash the disciples' feet? Well, we're going to find more about that. We have to remember back in the biblical times, the roads were really dusty and dirty. A lot of people were barefoot all the time or sandals, so their feet got really dirty. So when they'd come home, they washed their feet. And if you had guests over, you washed their feet as they came to your house. So it was a different practice than what we're used to. Now, the story we're reading here is called The Last Supper, and it is published by Augsburg Fortress. So let's read this. The Last Supper. Jesus knew at that time the time had come for him to leave this world. He wanted to share his last Passover meal together with his 12 closest friends, the disciples. Jesus loved his friends and wanted to show them his love in a very caring way. As the friends got ready for the meal, Jesus put water in a large bowl and knelt down on the floor. He wanted to wash the feet of each disciple. When it was Peter's turn, Peter said to Jesus, "You will never wash my feet." Jesus replied, "Peter, you don't understand what I'm doing now, but you will later." Peter loved Jesus so much that he said, "Then don't just wash my feet, wash my head and my hands also." Jesus wanted to be as close to Jesus. Peter wanted to be as close to Jesus as possible. As they were eating, Jesus sadly told his disciples, "Soon one of you will betray me. One of you will tell people who don't like me where I am so they can take me away." This upset the disciples, and each one of them said, "It's not me you're talking about, is it?" Then Judas said, Jesus gently replied. When Judas said this, Jesus gently replied, "Yes, Judas, you will betray me." Then Jesus picked up a loaf of bread and he blessed it, and he gave some to each of his friends, saying, "Take this bread and eat it. This is my body." Then Jesus picked up a cup of wine. He gave thanks and said, "Drink this. It is my blood, which I must give up, so the sins of people may be forgiven." When the meal was over, Jesus and his friends went to a place called the Mount of Olives. Jesus said sadly, "Soon you will all leave me." Peter felt bad. "Even if all the others leave you, I won't," he said. Jesus looked at his dear friend and said quietly, "Before the sun rises, you will pretend that you don't know me 3 times. Peter said, "Jesus, I love you so much to ever do that to you." And all of the other disciples said the same thing. Oh, this is kind of a heavy story, isn't it? We do have some questions now for you guys to talk about and a fun activity that you can do too. And don't forget to close in prayer. Have a great time together.